What this has all been about, and the whole design has been, make it easy for my users to access their applications and their data across all their devices. And that's what we want to show you right now. So let's give a hand to Adam. Adam's going to come up and show you some of the new innovations in these R2 releases. Let's give him a hand.
Thanks, Brad. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to TechEd. So, users bringing their own devices into the workplace is no longer just a trend. This is the reality that all of us in this room are facing today. And this is a really big challenge. How do we enable users to work on these devices that they bring in while remaining in control of the information that ends up on them? So we've been working really hard on this challenge, and today I want to take you through the Microsoft solution based on Windows Server, System Center Configuration Manager, and Windows Intune. They're going to help you meet this challenge. Let's go start. So we're going to start on a Surface device here, and this is just connected to the internet. And I want to be able to get some work done on it. So we're going to start off by going to a SharePoint site. And we're going to log in and enter our credentials here and see how we go. So let me just put my credentials in here. All right, so I've gone to a site and I've entered my corporate credentials, but I get an access denied message. But not just any access denied message. This one's telling me that if I register my device using Workplace Join, that I will get access to those resources. Now, Workplace Join is a new capability in Windows Server 2012 R2 that enables me to make this device known to IT. It puts a certificate on the device, and it registers a new device object in Active Directory. So let's go ahead and do a Workplace Join. To do this, we go into the new Modern Settings control panel, and there is under Network, there's a new Workplace capability. Put my credentials in there, and click Join. It's going to ask me for my password. How do I want to register this device? I enter my corporate credentials again. And you'll see that I'm now being prompted to do a phone factor call. We've integrated a multi-factor authentication into the device registration service. So I'm going to click Continue, and my phone over here will give me a call and ask me to do that multi-factor authentication.
Thank you for using Microsoft's sign-in verification system. Press the pound key to finish signing in.
And there
you have been signed in.
And so there, as you can see, with no further interaction on my part, I have now Workplace joined this PC. So let's go and try that SharePoint site again. Close that down. Let's go and try that again. Now, it will ask me for my credentials again. It still doesn't know who I am. So I'll put that in. Hit Enter. And this time, I get through to the SharePoint site. So by making this device known to IT, they're able to take the device itself into account in order to get access to that resource. So that's great. Step one, I've got access to resources, which is fantastic. But now I want to get my corporate applications onto here. Now, part of Windows 8.1 that we have, if we go back into the workplace, is I can now turn on management. And by turning on management, this is going to connect it to the Windows Intune cloud-based management service. So this is going to connect this device up. It's going to ask me who do I want to register with Intune. I'm going to use my same corporate credentials. Click Sign In. And this takes a little bit of time. It's going to talk to the Windows Intune service, connect up. It's going to ask me to accept the policies that IT want to place on my device. I'm going to accept those, turn on, and the enrollment process is going to complete. So in the background, this will talk to Intune. It'll pull down the configuration data and a few other bits and pieces. So I'm going to move across to one that we've already done the enrollment on and has had a chance to accept all those policies down. So I'm going to move across to the second device now. And the first thing I'll show you is that as part of doing that enrollment, I'm now got all of my Wi-Fi profiles, my VPN connections, and other data has come down so that my device is configured and I'm able to use it for work. What we've also done is install the company portal. And the company portal is about getting consistent access to not only my applications, but also being able to manage my devices as well. And so you can see applications on my screen. These are a combination of line of business apps that can be side-loaded, as well as deep links into the public application stores. You can see the devices that I have as part of this enrollment, so I can manage my own devices, and then some contact information in the event that I need some help from the help desk. So we're going to go ahead and install an application. It's going to give me some information about this. And this is a line of business application that's going to come down from Intune and be side-loaded onto the device. I click install. You'll see up in the top right-hand corner there's a little flag indicating that there's a process going on, and after that has now downloaded, it's going to install, and it gives me a notification to say this application is now installed on the device. Now if I go back to the start screen, scroll down, and there is my expenses application, I can pin that to the start and easily get my work done, as simple as that. But it's not just about applications, it's also about data as well. So let's go back into the company portal and take a look. As I scroll up from the bottom, you can see I have a new button for work folders. And work folders is a new synchronization service that is part of Windows Server 2012 R2. This enables me to synchronize files from a corporate file server out to all of my devices. So let's go ahead and configure that. It's going to take me across to manage work folders, and I'm going to be able to set up work folders and get that data down. It's going to ask me for my email address, which I'll type in. Click next, and it's now gone off and discovered where my work folder sync share is. It's going to tell me where it's going to store those files. I could choose another drive. I click next, and again, it's going to ask me to accept the policies that may be applied to my device as a result of putting corporate data onto this. This includes things like PIN codes, but also the encryption of the data as it comes down. I'll choose to set up work folders. That's now going to finish, and the files are going to synchronize now down in the background. You can see that they're coming down. So if I bring up a couple of Explorer windows here, do a refresh, you'll see I now have a work folders icon there, and there is the data. Now the top window that you're looking at is the data that's local on my device. Down the bottom is the data that's at the back-end server, because we're going to do a synchronization and show you how this works. So I have a document here that is local on my desktop, and I'm going to open that. And one of the things that we've done with work folders is integrate it with dynamic access control and rights management. And so we have a policy in our organization that says if we have a document that has the phrase vnext in it, that it will automatically rights protect this document. So I'm going to come in, type vnext, I'm going to save this into my work folders, click save. All right, that's saved up. And you'll see that it's in the top, but you can see it also turned up in the bottom window as well. So I'm just going to select this, and it might be a little small on the screen, but the size of that file is 1,503 kilobytes. In the background, Dynamic Access Control is scanning that document, classifying it, and performing rights management against it. Now, just while we wait for that to finish, most of you are probably wondering how this works with SkyDrive Pro. SkyDrive Pro is about Office and getting access to SharePoint data and taking that offline. It enables you to collaborate with people and share information. Work folders is just my data. It's coming off a file server and synchronizing down to all my devices. So whilst we've been doing that, that file has now been rights protected. I can double click on it. It's going to configure it for rights management, and we'll see that the dynamic access control has kicked in. Even though the file originated on my device, it's synchronized up, was rights protected, and then synchronized back down again. And there it is. The document is now rights protected. So that's great. We've got access to resources. We've synchronized our data down. I've got my applications. Let's fast forward a little bit and think about what happens if I lose this device, or what happens if it's stolen, or even if I'm just finished with it and I want to pass it off down to one of my children. What we can do is come back to the start screen, go back into those workplace settings. We can leave the device enrollment, which is going to remove that certificate and break the connection back. And I can also turn off management. And by turning that off, it's going to remove all of the corporate data, but leave my personal data behind. So if I go back to the desktop now, what we'll see, and on the right-hand side, you'll see it pop an error in a sec. If I try and open that file that I just had access to, I'm going to get an access denied message. And if I go back to the start screen, you'll see that that application that I have installed has now been uninstalled. So it's removed all that corporate data, it's rendered the data inaccessible through work folders, and I've been able to get access to resources, get my applications, and all my files as well. So that's the end of my demo. If you want to know more about this, come along to the PCIT Foundation session straight after the keynote. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks a lot, Adam.